What's up everybody, Watson07 here, and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video. In today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video, we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of new leaks for Blair. As you guys know, Blair is going to be coming to Duel Links very soon. She's getting a roaming event starting on December 15th, and I thought it would have been a good idea before it's too late to talk about all the leaks that we got for this character. We're going to be taking a look at some early gameplay that somebody captured of using Blair. We're going to be taking a look at some brand new rewards that we're going to be able to farm for when Blair comes into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I just thought it would have been a good idea to just discuss about all these cards in a video so you guys can hear my opinions and first impressions on all of Blair's rewards, you know, before the event drops. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. But before we get into today's video, I don't know why I transitioned like that, but I got a very important question for all of you guys watching today's video. Q&A time. What is your guys' opinion on the brand new Xbox Series X? As you guys can see, this is pretty crazy. Microsoft announced their newest Xbox. They have a ton of crazy designs with this new Xbox Series X. We got like a yellow design, which is pretty crazy. We got the eyes, we got the nose, we got the pants. I can't believe Microsoft is just making these bold decisions to just make their new console so flashy compared to the previous Xbox One X. So tell me what your guys' opinions on the Xbox. Leave a like if you guys are excited for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links League video. And without further ado, let's get into today's discussion video. So the early gameplay that we're going to be taking a look at is this Blair Flannigan Maiden in Love Japan English version for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, a lot of you guys have probably seen this video already. This video is originally from Random Plot, so credit to him. Be sure to go check out his channel and the original video, link in the description down below. And also, of course, as always, thank you to Duel Links Meta for all the other leaks that we're going to talk about later in today's video. But yeah, this gameplay is from Random Plots right here. We have Blair versus Jaden, and this is in the point of view of Blair utilizing her cards, which is going to be pretty cool because since it is a roaming event, we're not going to be able to unlock Blair right away in her upcoming roaming event, so it's still going to be pretty cool to see some of this early gameplay for Blair. I'm also curious to see if we will get any voice lines between Blair and Zane, because I've already watched a little bit of this video and there's a little bit of just specific voice lines of Blair reacting to dueling Jaden, but in this video it does not showcase her talking to Zane, so that'll be something to test out when the roaming event comes into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. But nonetheless, let's go take a look at this right here, and I'll give you guys just kind of like my reactions and stuff to it. And yeah, as like I said already, be sure to go check out Random Plots' channel, link in the description down below. So I do find it interesting that the duel field is the Duel Academy, but I'm guessing that's just because since Random Plot has access to do whatever he wants to the game, he just chose to have the background of Duel Academy, which is pretty fitting. I don't think that this confirms that we're going to be getting the Duel Academy background when we're dueling against Blair. That'd be kind of cool if they did something like that, but that's just not going to be the case.
I make the impossible possible.
Another thing is, like, it's gonna take me a while to get used to Blair's dubbed voice actor, because I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in a long time, and when I did watch it in dubbed, but I just didn't remember Blair's voice at all. And I'm not gonna lie, her voice is kind of annoying, but I have been able to get used to bad voice acting, or just like voices that I am annoyed with when it comes to anime, so I'll get used to it when it comes to Blair, but like, first time I listened to this video, I was like, I'm not a big fan of her voice actor that much, but like I said, the more I get used to it, it's like the more I really don't care. Besides, I don't even play with voice lines on with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links as it is, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, at first I was like, this voice line kind of whack.
I can't believe I get to duel my prince.
I'm not planning on going easy on you. I'm going all out from the start.
Duel!
I was kind of hoping that Jaden possibly had certain voice lines to correspond with Blair, but at the same time that makes sense, because if Jaden had specific voice lines for reacting to Blair, then we would have already made videos talking about Blair coming into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. That would have technically confirmed Blair coming into Duel Links like months ago when JNU Bell first got added into the game. So it's cool that we have like specific voice lines for Blair between Jaden, but since they didn't want to confirm anything for Blair, or they just simply didn't care about doing voice lines for Jaden reacting to Blair, that's why we don't have any specific voice lines like that, but it's still cool to see nonetheless.
It's my turn. Get ready to fall head over heels, because here's Maiden in Love.
So first things first, like I said, I'm getting more used to the voice actor for Blair when she was announcing that she's summoning Maiden in Love. didn't sound that bad. It's just kind of like the intro of the duel. She sounded kind of obnoxious. It does suck that Maiden in Love does not have a summoning animation, because so far from what we can tell, Maiden in Love is kind of her ace monster, and we kind of don't really think that she's going to get any other ace monster because her whole deck was the Maiden in Love. So it kind of sucks that there's not going to be a summoning animation for Maiden in Love, but you know, it's still nice that we have specific voice lines for this card specifically. And I mean, Maiden in Love probably doesn't deserve a summoning animation, but since it seems to be like Blair's ace monster, it would have been nice to see a summoning animation, because as of late, with like the past few characters that we got in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, they just straight up did not have summoning animations, except for Darkseid Rex Goodwin. But like when I was talking about, I was like, Scud, Sarah did not get summoning animations for any other monsters, and I mean, it kind of makes sense because they didn't really seem to have like proper ace monsters, but still, there's no summoning animations nonetheless. And it seems like Blair doesn't have a summoning animation either, so I don't know. Maybe they will add a summoning animation though when she officially becomes a lockable, but I kind of doubt it.
That ends my turn.
Cosmic Crush!
Oh! Maiden in Love's effect activates. I place a Maiden counter on the monster that attacked her.
I end my turn.
That is actually kind of funny that the counters are little hearts. Makes sense though.
It's my turn. I draw. I activate the equip spell, Cupid's Kiss. I activate the equip spell, Happy Marriage. Watch what happens when my monsters say I do.
Oh wait, I actually didn't see that part of the voice line. It's actually kind of funny. Wait, hold up. Let me, yeah, watch what I say when my monsters say I do. That's kind of a funny voice line.
What happens when my monsters say I do? Who's ready to battle? Spread the love, my maiden. Total devotion. Ah! Oh! I activate the equip spell, Cupid's Kiss. Go! I attack.
Look at that. We got a elemental hero Neos OTK from Blair. No way.
I'll never give up. Me and my heroes will win in the end.
That's game. Thanks for getting your game on, sweetie.
That was crit. Crit. So that's going to be it for the gameplay portion of today's video. If you want to check out the full video, like I said already, link in the description down below. Go check out Random Plox's full video on it. There's some Japanese voice lines in there, which is pretty cool. So if you want to hear the Japanese voice lines between Blair and Jaden, be sure to go check that out. Nonetheless, though, let's go talk about all of Blair's drop rewards. Before we get into talking about all of these new rewards for Blair in her upcoming roaming event, let's go take a look at all of Blair's artwork right here. We have her normal pose right here. We have her like winning pose right here, and then we have her defeat pose right here. Pretty good, honestly. It's actually really nice that we have some brand new sprites for Blair, and I'm excited to use these in thumbnails because it's been very hard to find cool renders for Blair for thumbnails, so I'm glad that Duel Links is coming through with some pretty nice ones in my opinion. First drop reward we're going to talk about is Maiden in Love, and this is a UR card, and I'm not going to go into full detail on Maiden in Love because I made 2 different videos talking about my first impressions thoughts on Maiden in Love, but just to let you know, this is going to be a UR drop that we're going to be able to farm for Blair. But still, at the same time, I feel like that once Blair becomes lockable, it's still we're going to get a guaranteed copy of Maiden in Love. So when it comes to farming Blair in the upcoming event, don't stress out too much if you don't get 3 copies of Maiden in Love, because most likely we're going to be getting a free copy of Maiden in Love when Blair becomes lockable sometime in 2020. So there you go right there. And like I said, if you want to hear my opinions on Maiden in Love and want to hear how the combo works, go check it out, top right over there. So first SR card we're going to be taking a look at is Herald of Green Light. This is going to be a card you're going to be able to farm for from Blair. And fun fact, this is actually one of the cards that's already been in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but got a rarity change way back on November 5th. So I do recognize this card, but we are going to discuss about it again because it's just been a month since we last talked about this card. Herald Green Light is a light level 2 fairy effect monster. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell card, you can send this card and one of their fairy type monster from your hand to the graveyard and negate the activation if you do destroy it. This card has 300 attack and 500 defense. And overall, Herald of Green Light is just a super mediocre card. The fact that you can only negate spell cards with this card, and the fact that you need to pitch Herald of Green Light on top of having another fairy monster in your hands in the graveyard just to negate a spell card is just not worth it to me, because if you're going to pitch 2 cards just to negate 1 card, you would want that effect to also be able to negate monsters and traps. But the fact that it only can negate spell cards and you have to pitch 2 cards to even trigger this card's effect is just such a waste of time in my opinion, because you're pitching, because you're just neg-1ing specifically for spell cards. Like, what's the point of doing that? There is a lot of better cards to play around that, and you would just rather play some trap cards to your disposal to negate spell cards, or just play your Silent Magician deck that can negate spell cards outright. Herald of Green Light is just a super mediocre card. Like, I can see why it's an SR card, just because it does negate stuff, which is cool and all, but it's definitely a drop reward SR card. It's not good enough to be a box SR, which I'm glad it's not in any of these boxes, because that would be such a horrible card to pull in a box. But it's cool that we're going to be able to farm for Herald of Green Light, but at the same time, super mediocre card. Next card we're going to discuss about is the second SR card that we're going to be able to farm for, called Cupid's Kiss, which combos with Maiden and Love. Not going to go into a full discussion on this card just because I've talked about this in previous videos, but this is a SR card that you guys can farm for. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the rare cards you can farm from Blair, and the first one we're going to take a look at is Janice the Lightsworn Mender. This is a rare card that you can farm for. It's a light level 4 spellcaster effect monster. During the end phase, if a card was sent from your deck to the graveyard by an effect of a Lightsworn card, this turn inflict 500 damage to your opponent, and if you do, gain 500 life points. This card is 300 attack and 2100 defense. Now, I could definitely see this card being a rare worthy. It's definitely fitting for it. It is cool that you can deal 500 points of damage. That's not too shabby in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but at the same time, to trigger this effect, it's going to need to be face up on the field. The fact that it only has 300 attack, you wouldn't want to summon this in attack position. You would have to figure out a way to special summon this in defense position to try to get some value out of its effect. But at the same time, it's like you would just want to play other Lightsworn cards at the end of the day instead of trying to use Lightsworn Mender. Still, it's kind of cool that we're getting a new Lightsworn card. Maybe Duel Links is considering to add some more Lightsworn cards in a future main box in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and maybe this is like a little teaser that, hey, we still remember Lightsworns, let's go add some more support for them in the future. But overall, this is a very mediocre, Lightsworn card. This is just kind of something that they had an excuse to throw it in the game because it is just pretty mediocre at the end of the day. So it's cool, but at the same time, meh. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at a new card called Happy Marriage. This is a spell equipped card. This card can only be activated while a face of monster that is owned by your opponent is on your side of the field. Increase the attack of the equipped monster by the attack of that monster. So Happy Marriage is going to go into the Maiden and Love and Cupid's Kiss combo, because when you use that combo, you're going to be able to steal your opponent's monsters. And if you equip Happy Marriage to that monster that you stole from your opponent, you can basically double its attack and go for some huge damage, which you guys actually seen in that gameplay video where Blair was able to deal 5,000 points of damage to Jaden because she did her Maiden and Love combo and equipped Happy Marriage to the Elemental Hero Neos and boosted him to 5,000 attacks. It's pretty cool right here. Technically, you can also trigger this card by utilizing enemy controller, do an econ take, and then equip Happy Marriage. That would be such a funny way to win at the end of the day. But no, this card is clearly support for the Maiden and Love archetype, which is pretty cool, and it's nice to see that we have another card to support the archetype. So the last rare card we're taking a look at is called Defense Maiden. This is a trap continuous card. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on a monster you control, you can target one Maiden and Love you control, switch that attack target to that target. And yeah, Defense Maiden is an okay card. Of course, you want your opponent to attack into your Maiden and Love instead of your other monsters, because Maiden and Love will give a counter to your opponent's monster, and then you can use that counter to take your opponent's monster with the whole Maiden and Love archetype. So it makes a lot of sense that Defense Maiden is also another pretty good card. You could probably surprise your opponent by not activating this right away. When they declare attack on your weaker monsters, you can flip up Defense Maiden and be like, surprise, and then force the attack into your Maiden and Love. At the same time, though, it's a very gimmicky card, which kind of makes sense because this whole Maiden and Love deck is kind of gimmicky. But at the same time, I think I'd rather just rock some of the more like staple spell and trap cards instead of Defense Maiden in my deck. But still, you might be able to surprise your opponent with Defense Maiden, so maybe it'll be an okay card to combo with some of the skills if we ever get Blair unlockable, which would make sense because we got all Blair's skills leaked, and we're just kind of waiting until she's officially unlockable. So the first normal card we get taken a look at is Wing Egg Elf, and I can't believe Konami's adding this card to the game. Like, this is actually ridiculous. I'm surprised Blair is adding so much overpowered stuff in her new event. Anyways, though, this broken card is a light level 3 fairy normal card. This fairy in an eggshell uses massive wings to blow back almost any projectile attack. This card is 500 attack and 1300 defense. So in the meta, this card will have a hard time going against those physical attackers, but if you ever go against any cards that either have weapons or bows or anything like that, you're going to be able to use Wing Egg Elf to just instantly kill them off with its special ability, which is honestly really cool. It just kind of sucks that Wing Egg Elf might not be able to handle the current meta right now because a lot of the cards in the the game, kind of do some physical attacking stuff. But if we ever get a meta or a lot of the cards have just bows and weapons and stuff like that, Wing Egg Elf might be a really good tactic combo in your deck because you can just massively destroy these cards instantly, which is really cool. So the last card we're going to take a look at is called Muse A. This is a very broken card, and it's actually even more broken than the previous card we took a look at. Muse A is a light level 3 fairy normal card, and this effect is absolutely crazy. A fairy of the arts that is unbeatable on the harp. First of all, that flavor text got them bars, and the fact that this card is undefeatable with its harp is pretty crazy too, because as you guys can see in the card artwork, the Muse already has its harp. It's not an equip spell or anything like that, so your opponent can't get rid of the harp through any back row removal. And the fact that Muse instantly gets the harp and it's undestroyable means that Muse is literally OP. Like, it just can't get killed. The downside to this card is the fact that it does have that low attack, but like, you literally can't get rid of it. Like, there's just no way to get rid of it because it's unbeatable on the harp, which is pretty crazy right there. So Muse A is definitely a very overpowered card. Give it some equip spells and dude, you're gonna be running the meta down with like a card that just does not care about your opponent's spell and trap cards, which is just absolutely insane. I am genuinely surprised Blair is adding some of these broken cards into the game. Well, that's gonna be it for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video. If you guys enjoyed it and you haven't already, be sure to go show your support by hitting that like button on the video down below and subscribing to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. Also, before you guys forget, be sure to go to my channel right now and check out some of my previous videos. I just uploaded a Necro Dragon deck utilizing some of the new cards from the Soul of Resonance mini box, and I built a deck on that card. Really cool video. Be sure to go check that out, and just check out some of my other content that I'm going to be releasing in the future for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'm going to be doing an Arcanite Magician deck very soon, and I'm going to be doing some live streams and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you haven't checked out that stuff already, be sure to do so, and all that good stuff right there. Nonetheless though, thank you guys so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and I'll go see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.